now 10:03, and time now for another edition of Chicago Now on a Wednesday. Looks like the rain is moving out, Caitlin. Downtown, blue skies, smiling at me.
We do have the chance for storms again today. Some could be a little gusty, but this morning you hydroplaned on the road.
I did. For a moment,
gracious.
I was coming in on the Edens, guys. Right, same thing happened to Mike Kaplan. I wonder if it was in the same spot. Two little happenings on the way in. I felt my car hydroplane. That was number one. Looked over to the opposite lane, and there was a spin out and a crash involving two cars. So I was like, "Oh, this is going to be." I didn't see it happen. It might have happened 10 seconds before I got through because it was a fresh scene. You know, there was no. It didn't look like anyone was seriously hurt. There was someone in a ditch and another car right up against the center barrier, but no responders had responded. Like they were en route. They must have been en route. It must have just happened, but. It got a little dicey there.
Wow. So it was pouring cats and dogs.
Pouring. Visibility, like everyone had their blinkers on.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
That was how rough it was.
And that's the problem with these storms this week. They could just be pouring so heavy that's one of the top concerns when they develop. Yesterday we had that too. They were very isolated.
Yeah.
But my goodness, if you got caught under one of those pockets of heavy rain, nightmare to drive in.
Our weather is just, it keeps you on your toes, doesn't it, Caitlin?
Always, you know?
Always. All right, we got a lot to get to here in the next hour. We're going to be speaking with a writer from Chicago Eater about why Chicago is actually a tough food truck city. You were out at Daily Plaza a couple weeks ago.
I was.
Does this surprise you to hear it's tough going?
This surprises me. I feel like I see food trucks everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's very trendy. We've got all those food truck festivals, and they're always at different events. So I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, so we're going to dive into that. Also, the Shedd Aquarium is asking for your help in naming the most adorable little sea otter pup. This thing is so cute. Did you see? Unfortunately, Blueberry. That's a great one.
That's so cute.
Very cute. Blueberry.
Blue for short. Come on.
Oh.
They've got a few options, and you actually have to go to the shed in person in order to cast your vote.
So you have to vote.
Well, they've unleashed the options, and so we're going to unveil them for everybody.
Is there anything cuter than a baby otter?
Oh my gosh! Did you see the footage of it this morning?
Seen
Oh,
it.
you're going to love this.
Oh yay! I'm excited.
I mean, I thought like golden retriever puppies were cute. I mean, they're adorable, but this is like same level.
Beyond
like
the
it's
beyond.
just, and the way it moves in the water, it's amazing. It's so good. We should.
Oh,
you
yes,
got
I wanna see.
Yeah,
Blueberry. Let's see. Baby
Look
Blue.
at them. Look at the team.
Wouldn't it be fun to have this be your job?
Oh
That must be
I didn't
Mama?
even see
Oh
this
my
footage
gosh,
earlier.
it's so cute.
We saw the bathing footage. Let's let this
Wait,
breathe
that looks
a
like
little
a
bit.
beaver.
Talk about best job ever. Okay, here we go. Look at this thing.
Is that the baby?
That's a baby.
Oh, I want one.
Look at that
It
thing.
could just live in my bathtub. I'd be fine with
A little
that.
scratchy scratch.
Oh, so
In I
sweet.
go.
Otters are the
Just
cutest.
rolling
So
around. Look at that was the
cute.
shot that got me. They're just like rolling around doing the barrel
Have you
rolls
guys
in
seen
there.
the mama otters when they put their babies on their belly?
No.
Like in the wild, they put their babies on their belly and they lay like when they're laying floating backwards.
They hold hands.
They hold
Oh my
hands.
gosh.
So sweet.
I think we just need a whole
They
20
hold
minutes
hands
of
so
animal
they don't-
videos.
I agree.
Okay, I know. The ratings would be like, like
We should go
skyrocket.
on the road at the aquarium. That would be so
I love
cool.
that.
Then a little later in the show, we're going to dive into the Chicago subreddit with another debate that is unfolding, and that is where is considered appropriate and inappropriate to take a lunch break. And the reason why this is a topic under discussion right now is somebody took their lunch break in a cemetery, okay, and it offended another person. So we're going to dive into that. So let's get the wheels turning there. But before we get to that, we are welcoming Justine Baker to run us through some of the what's trending topics here in Chicago.
Okay, so the first thing that people are searching is the Boy Is Mine tour. So Brandy and Monica are no longer fighting over the boy. They're going on tour this summer, actually, this fall. They'll be in Chicago at the United Center October 18th. Tickets go on sale this Friday, and it's been 27 years since the song has released, so people are very excited about it.
You gotta update. I'm not cool. I don't.
Monica and Brandy.
When I saw Monica and Brandy, have you ever heard of Monica and Andy?
No.
It's like an upscale kids clothing. Like if you got like a lot of money,
Oh, boy.
Monica and Andy,
Yeah.
they're like the clothes. We had one outfit for Theo when he was a baby because my sister did a photo shoot for them. It was like the cutest little thing I've ever seen in my life.
Like $50 for a pair of pants.
Brandy. Okay, I know Brandy.
Yeah, Brandy,
Okay.
and then Monica was also a 90s singer, kind of singer-rapper sometimes. They used to have an argument about a guy back in, I think it was like 98 or something, and they had a song that came out, and he's like, no, he's mine, no, he's mine. So they're going on tour together,
Cute.
and so people are super excited
Oh,
about it.
okay. So it's going to be a
Yeah.
bunch of cooler people my age that are,
From the
grew
90s.
from the
From the
90s. Yeah, like
90s.
that was exactly.
Uh-huh.
There we
Okay.
go.
There it is.
Brandy looks exactly the same
Right.
as ever. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing Brandy
Was she
one
nice?
time. She was very sweet. She was actually, and this didn't last long, she was in a relationship with a local musician.
Oh.
And I had interviewed him as well, and she was along for the ride, and I drove him to the studio. This was during my backseat rider days where I was driving a Lyft car and interviewing the folks that ended up in the back seat. And so Brandy, yeah, I got to drive Brandy
What
to
a get.
it was a great
Wow.
get. And it was that was sheer luck because I had it arranged with her boyfriend at the time. And but I had no idea she was going to get in the car, and we had a great discussion
In
with
the
both of them.
Subaru.
It was a nicer car back then.
Oh.
I drive a Beater now. Gets me from A to B. I'm very proud of it for no apparent reason. But I'll get everyone a picture of this thing. You gotta see it. My 4-year-old now calls it the speed car, which it's a 2001 Subaru Impreza, which is like a basic. I mean, it's got power windows, but that's about the most luxurious feature. But I love that Gerald calls it the speed car.
I like it too.
And
It's quite a name.
here's the thing: no one's gonna mess with this car. And that's why I like having it in the city.
That's
Yeah.
smart.
all right,
Take
so
a
we
picture
got-
of it for you because when I go in the garage, I think I see it.
It's freshly washed too. It's looking good. It's
got a
having a good.
vacuum
It's
and
having a good day.
got a new
today.
air
All right,
freshener
it's having
hanging
a
from
good
the
day.
mirror.
Yeah,
All
dice,
right. Aw,
dice.
cute.
All right, what else we got, Justine?
So the second thing, it's kind of trending on TikTok. Well, it's got 64,000 likes so far. It
Wow.
is the Wicker Park Spelling Bee. It's going to be tonight. It's an adult spelling bee. We don't know any other details besides that
love
it's
this.
going to start tonight at dusk in Wicker Park. So people are super excited about it. They're trying to figure out what words. There's prizes. There's so many cool things, but no one knows a lot of details about it.
Is this a new thing? I have
It
not
was
heard
a
of this.
viral video that was posted a few days ago on TikTok. We have this video
There
right
better
now.
be booze involved.
I'm sure there will be.
Hilarious.
That's all we know. We just have this one video.
This
I like
is the
it.
kind of rogue Chicago thing I love to see. How basic that flyer was. Prizes! Exclamation point. And you
Right,
know people are gonna. If
right.
I saw that sign, I'd be like, I'm going.
I might
Exactly.
love
I'm
the distance. That's funny.
No exact time. They just said come at dusk. People are
Dusk?
excited. That's
Hold
it.
on.
Listen,
Wicker
hey,
Park tonight.
If producers are listening, dusk is about 9 now.
That's pretty
right when
late.
our news is starting. I'm thinking live shot.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. We should.
Thinking live shot. That would be. I'm curious. Well, we might violate FCC rules if it's an adult spelling bee and they have adult words.
That's what I was going to say. Is
Yeah.
it really a spelling bee or is this like a secret code for something else?
It's supposed to be a spelling bee. And so I looked up a few of the hardest words to spell or / common words to spell for adults. Are you guys good at spelling bees? So I'm going to quiz
I wasn't
you.
bad in third
Oh,
grade
no.
spelling. I was good in 3rd grade.
Okay, I'll give you one word. Let's see if you can do it. I'll
Okay,
start off
please.
easy. Accommodate.
I'm gonna let Tim handle that one.
ACCOM. Is it an A or is it a no, folks?
O.
Accommodate.
D-A-T-E.
ODATE.
Oh, we missed an M.
ACCOMMODATE. Right, and that was one of the easiest words on the list. So I'm so excited.
I was like,
Okay.
it's a double C or a double
Okay.
M, and
You
she
know,
like it's definitely
hold
a double
on.
C.
Do you want another word?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
We gotta
another
end on a
word.
high
We've got
note.
caribou.
Oh, I got this one.
Okay.
CARIBOU.
Absolutely,
Nice
you got it
job,
right.
Kate.
You got it
Caribou
right.
Coffee. That's how I know that one. Anthony's turn. Do you have another?
Yes, I do.
All right, I gotta
Okay,
redeem
Anthony.
myself from accommodate.
The
Yeah.
next word is nauseous.
Ooh. NAUSEOUS. Wait.
Nauseous.
Yeah.
NAUSEOUS.
I got it.
You got it. Here we go.
Nauseous.
funny.
Man,
Yeah.
that's quite a word. Did you, out of curiosity, do you have any more? 'Cause
Yes,
that's
I-
kind of fun.
I do. I've got 2 more.
Ooh.
Okay, these are the
Caitlin's
harder.
turn.
These
Caitlin's
are the
turn.
harder.
Okay.
Do you want really hard or do you want just a little bit of hard?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll go with just a little bit.
Okay, everyone at home, you better be spelling this out loud too.
Okay, the word is cacophony.
Oh no.
Whoa.
Can I go next?
Okay, let me try this one.
Okay.
C-A-C-A-P-H-O-N-Y.
Whoa, what did you just say? Say it again.
C-A-C-A-P-H-O-N-Y.
Close. C-A-C-O-P-H-O-N-Y.
Oh, I missed it by a vowel. Almost.
Okay, so now you have to get the hardest one.
I thought that was the
That was
hardest
pretty
one.
hard.
That was second to
I don't even know
hardest.
what that means.
The hardest one is acquiesce.
Oh.
Acquiesce.
Acquiesce.
Another made-up word. A-Q-U-I-E-S-S.
Hold on. Let me
Okay.
give it a crack.
All right.
A-C.
A-C-Q.
Q-U-I-E-S-C-E.
You should go to that spelling bee tonight. You got it right.
What does that even mean? Liking aqua?
I think when somebody gets you on their side who you previously disagreed with, it'd be like, I acquiesced. Is that right?
Acquiesce?
I don't know.
What was the previous
Like, I'm gonna
one?
acquiesce.
Yeah,
to
let's
the-
look it up. Let's look it up. Cacophony, or cacophony is C-A-C-O-P-H-O-N-Y.
Acquiesce.
Yeah, what does that one mean?
Like Trump wants Iran to acquiesce. Is that right?
It means accept something reluctantly,
Okay,
but without
yeah.
protest.
Yeah.
That was acquiesce.
Uh-huh.
And cacophony is.
And then cacophony is,
Great words, Justine.
harsh or jarring sound.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Like a cacophony of traffic horns or something.
a cacophony of
That would be a
color
good
or a
one.
cacophony of smells could also be a chaotic mixture.
Oh my gosh, Justine.
well, if
great
you show up
words.
to the Wicker Park spelling bee, you've
Man.
got some words already that you know how to spell.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
That
number
is pretty
3,
funny.
you have something about for the beer lovers. We're both beer
Ooh,
lovers,
yes,
by the way.
we are.
So this Saturday, the Lincoln Park Zoo is having their Craft Brew Fest. It is going to be 7 to 10 p.m.
Oh,
Tickets start at
fun.
$57. They're having 20 3-ounce tastings, souvenir cup tastings, 40 plus breweries, after-hour access to the animal habitats, yard games, and complimentary carousel rides.
You can bring your kids,
can bring
have
it.
a brew, bring your neighbors. How fun is that?
I'm not sure if you can bring your kids. It might be 21 and up event only, just because there are going to
I
have so
think
many.
it is. I have been to this thing.
Oh,
I think I
wait.
went in its first or second year. I had a little too much fun. So these 3-ounce pours add up.
Yeah, of course.
And these beers, there's like some 9 ABVs
Yeah.
in there that'll sneak right up on you.
Sure.
But it is such an awesome event. It's not too hot because it's a little bit later. The grounds of the Lincoln Park Zoo are beautiful, and then you just go from station to station. They're scattered throughout the whole park. It's like, so it is
It would be
awesome.
a great time. Wait, you said no kids are allowed.
I don't
no kids
think
are
so.
allowed?
I
I
don't
don't
But
think
didn't you
so.
say
I
that?
don't remember seeing any kids. This was a birthday present
Oh.
from my wife's friend to my friend, and he was able to. She's like, you can go and you can invite a couple friends, and I got the invite. So,
Cute.
Cindy, if you're listening, that was an awesome time. We had a
I love the
blast.
idea. It sounds like a really fun
It's
time.
such a blast.
sounds like a
So
great-
when is that happening?
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
Lincoln
Saturday,
Park Zoo
Lincoln Park
Craft
Zoo.
Brews Night. So they
not a bad
probably
idea.
block off the entrances. You got to have a ticket.
Probably, yep.
57.
$57.
But no, that's
starting.
actually.
It
for
sounds
what
like
you
a great
get
price for
and the
20.
environment, and I think they have live music too.
Yep, they have live
Wow.
music, food trucks. It should be a really fun event.
And you get to see the animals.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Really, really good stuff. Do you have any other? Guys have any big weekend plans that you'd care to share with the rest of the class?
What are you doing this weekend?
I think I'm just relaxing. I think
Yeah?
I'm just relaxing. Gonna soak up the nice weather,
What
do a
shows
little
are
bit
you
of
watching?
gardening. I'm not watching anything right now.
What?
I know.
What?
I'm just reading right now. Just
Ooh,
reading
what are
lots
you
of
reading?
books. Right now I'm reading The Midnight Library. It's a pretty fun book. It's a fictional book. Super good. Yeah, it's so good.
What's the genre there?
Fantasy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My wife loves that.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Okay.
Yeah, but what shows are you guys watching? What should I catch up on? Where should I
am-
start?
Next on my list is The Bear because as I've been telling everybody, I'm only halfway into the second season,
Yeah.
and season 4, I think
Coming
debuts
out?
tonight.
Is it tonight?
It's like the 25th, I think, whenever that is. Is today the 20th? Tomorrow?
Today.
Is the 25th.
Today,
I
yeah.
think the
Wow.
Bears season 4 is today.
Okay.
Time is going by so fast. I'm watching the new season of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that's great.
It is actually really good. The most beautiful women you will ever see in your entire life. I'm like, oh, and the way that they have to go through and like the coaches have to pick, like, oh, well, your kick isn't high enough, or you're a little bit off there. Like, impossible job, because they're all perfect. They're all perfect. It really encourages you to like step up your athletic,
Man.
going to the gym. And
Is
getting
this
in
about
shape.
the audition process of it,
It
or is it
is.
about the existing
The audition
team?
process?
Wow.
So it goes through the whole thing.
And
I had
is
saw that after the show came out, they're originally making like $15 an hour, and now since the show came out, they're making like $45 now an hour.
Oh,
and so people were
okay.
realizing that they weren't being treated.
Well, here's
fairly.
the interesting
Yeah,
part: is
right.
these women who are on the team, they have full-time jobs.
right.
So
Right.
their practices are at 7 o'clock at night. So they go to their job, then they have to get there. I just learned at 6 p.m. and their practices are at 7 p.m.
That is a long,
Wow.
hard work, and
for the whole season.
exactly,
And they have to be
that's
perfect.
not easy work either.
No.
Like that is a physical lift. I think we have something later in the show about people doing side gigs. And the
Oh.
need to do side gigs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people are kind of double. Yeah, exactly. Have side
BCC
hustle.
cheerleaders.
We're going to explore this later in the show. Have side hustles become the new norm? Talk about side hustle. I mean, that's a commitment, and you're in the national spotlight. Like that's
Right.
America's team.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, they made Thunder popular again. Thunder. It's
Trending on
Oh, is that
TikTok.
the,
yeah, everyone's doing
Thunder.
the dance.
They've
Yep.
got a dance to it, Anthony.
Alright.
You should probably tune in.
I could be convinced. I could be convinced. All right, Justine,
my
thanks so much.
arm.
Of course.
Always good to have you in studio. We're going to take a quick break, but we're going to be back with a reporter from Chicago Eater about why food trucks are actually having a hard time in Chicago. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It's 10:23 just about. So Chicago's food truck scene has long lagged behind its booming restaurant culture, and a recent story explained why. So despite an ordinance passed more than a decade ago meant to boost mobile vendors, the number of licensed trucks in the city has dropped, not grown. Jimena is our guest that's coming up. She dove into what went wrong, unpacking the city's strict regulations, the impact on small business owners, and whether Chicago has any plans to change course. So we asked her to break down the reporting behind the story, what surprised her most, and what might be next.
Jimena Beltran Quan Q from Chicago Eater joins us. Jimena, thank you so much for your time. Good to see you.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Caitlin. Thanks for having me. This is such an important issue, and I'm glad I get to give you guys more details on it.
Please enlighten us. We all are such big food truck supporters. One of our reporters here on Chicago Now was just out at the Daily Plaza Food Truck Fest, which I think is every Friday, if memory serves. They do that whole lunch thing. But they're lagging behind where they should be. They're not gaining traction. What's up?
Yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things. So the alarm was raised by Heather Bublik and Chef DeAndre Carter, who are the owners and operators of Soul and Smoke. They are expanding their flagship location in Evanston. And in this conversation, they brought up the conversation with Ashok Selvam, who is a editor for the Midwest, who recently won a James Beard Award for local reporting. And they talked about how they had bought and purchased a custom-made, made to specifications for Chicago food truck, and it still took them a year to get a license.
Oh.
That shouldn't happen, really. I mean, if you think about someone wanting to start a business, doing exactly what they have to do, and it's still taking them a year to get through the bureaucracy of it, that's a tough thing to do, to justify. That would dissuade me from wanting to jump in.
Do we know why it took a year? Or do they just have a lack of staff, or are they doing it on purpose? What's the deal?
A lot of these operators talked about it's been difficult for many years. So one of the biggest challenges they talk about is how there is a 200-foot rule. I was surprised by this. I actually did not know. They can't park 200 feet within a restaurant space. So your mom and pop restaurant, that makes sense. However, this rule includes Starbucks and 7-Eleven. So when I think about what it looks like to walk in the Loop, that essentially kills your business.
Yeah.
These food trucks are perfect for the Loop because you want different options, and they just don't have it. So to answer your question, they've talked about how it's been tough across multiple administrations. This has been prevalent under Rahm, Lightfoot, and Johnson now. What they say now is the challenges of it are the hardest it's been under the Johnson administration, because the goalpost keeps changing. One person is told one thing, but then a different inspector comes and they're told a different thing. And then the meetings are kicked out. And then they're only allowed to meet for one specific thing, to have their paperwork reviewed. But then if they want to actually go into more details, they tell them, nope, you'll have to set up another appointment.
That is
which
so
could take weeks.
annoying. I mean, like, hearing that, and that's what our government employees are doing. It's like nails on a chalkboard with all this bureaucracy. Let me ask you this. If that one provision was removed, you mentioned Starbucks and 7-Elevens. If those two were just eliminated out of the equation, would it solve this problem, or there are other structural things that need to change to get this industry thriving? Uh-oh, she might have. Let's give her a moment to see if her connection can unfreeze.
Froze a little bit. That's interesting, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, here we go.
I'm back.
She's there. She's there. Okay, so I had asked.
That is one part of the problem. The other two is parking. So the city allows food trucks to have designated parking spaces. They can go and park. However, it is not enforced, meaning if you or I, a private citizen, goes and parks in that space, then there is no food truck parking. It is not exclusive to them. So that is the other challenge of this, is that there were operators who I spoke with who told me they would drive around for an hour and a half going from location to location trying to park. And if there were cars there, they couldn't. Or there would be people who reserve spots who drive out at 5 a.m., which you're not supposed to do, but the city does not enforce it. And one operator told me laws only work if they're enforced.
Yeah.
Have they responded at all to the criticism about this and how they're enforcing these rules? Is there any give from the pushback?
This is the commissioner heard the replies. He, in my opinion, tried to redirect the conversation to talk about unlicensed food trucks. That is not the issue at play here.
Yeah.
These are folks who are following the rules for more than a decade, jumping through hoops, and facing these challenges. These are not rogue operators. These are James Beard Foundation folks. These are people who have a lot of respect for the rules. So when they're pushing back on this and saying like, well, we would love to hear from these people. I was on a call and I told the commissioner, I am reading verbatim what these folks have told me. So you are hearing from them. And the reality of it is, I hope things change because the numbers don't lie. When this law was passed, the 200-foot rule law, it was 2012 and there were 127 operators on the road. Today, 12 years, 13 years later, there are only 87 and only 9 of them cook on board. So that was a like previous rule. So you're talking about now you have less than 80 operators. The numbers don't lie. There is a significant decline. And to your point, it's kind of done, the law has kind of done what it's supposed to do, which was to dissuade these operators from going into business. So while many have been outspoken from the beginning, I mean, you tell me if someone's putting up roadblock after roadblock for 10 years, eventually you're either going to have some give and change is going to occur or you're going to give up.
Yeah, you're just
and
going
what
to
we're
say forget it.
seeing is, what we're seeing now is a lot of the operators are like, it's not worth it. Most of the ones that you see on the road are actually making their ends meet through private parties, catering, and large scale events where the orders are pre-ordered and they have a presence. It's not that they are going and buying one-to-one.
Jimena, let me ask you this. By chance, have you been down to Austin, Texas?
I have, and it's insane that the food trucks, it's everywhere. It's New York, it's LA. This isn't a weather thing. Chicago is actually primed. We have an incredible food scene, and when you talk about the loop, we're still in a post-pandemic recovery. These food trucks could really help bring people in, provide different options, be where the people are at a quick drop of a dime, and that's not happening. It's really unfortunate.
Exactly. So that's the one food truck city that like I've been to where they are, like she said, everywhere. Do you have an indication of what cities like Austin or New York, as you mentioned, are doing that we're not?
It comes down to that law that was really spearheaded by powerful restaurateurs and politics, unfortunately. So you had people who were really lobbying because they had a business stake in killing the competition. And what we're seeing now is like, one, there really is no competition because you've done it. You have disempowered people. You have made them want to give up. And really the people who this affects the most are the consumers, but also city creativity. Because when you think about competition, if we live in a capitalist society, which we do, that competition is supposed to breed ingenuity and more robust options for diners.
I'm trying to think too, like thinking about Chicago, is there rules against these trucks just parking next to like Millennium Park? I'm trying to think if there's a spot where they could congregate. Is that a thing that they do if someone maybe is looking into starting their own food truck business? Is there an option for them in Chicago to be successful?
They can. If they do that, they will be fined, and the fines are incredibly hefty. It's something like $2,000. So you guys are asking the right questions, and that's what's so important about this piece, is that almost every opportunity that they're coming against, they're hitting roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and yet many of them are still participating, and they want to see a change, and they are happy to do it in the end. A lot of them were really frustrated. It was hard to hear the story where they were telling me everything that they're doing to participate and again, operate in the right way. And yet they were still very grateful for the Johnson administration for waiving fees for the food truck festival that you mentioned, Anthony, on Fridays that started in 2023 that they waived. So they can participate in that. However, again, it comes along with bureaucracy where a few folks said, hey, you know what? I don't know if my paperwork is going to be approved by tomorrow because I haven't heard back from them.
This is absolutely fascinating. I'm actually, given what you've been telling us this morning, Jimena, I'm surprised that there are still 87 on the street. Now, for balance, I do have to ask you, like in your reporting, did you come across any success stories, any restaurant that is actually able to thrive in this environment that really just sounds kind of like impossible?
Yeah, I spoke with people who told me that they are successful because they saw the problem, and instead of kidding against a wall, they've shifted and pivoted towards that catering operating model.
Okay.
So there are folks on the road who are doing one-to-one, but that I don't know. They're not, unfortunately, at the success. The ones who are seeing growth, like Soul and Smoke, like the Fat Shallot, those folks are really operating in a catering private event type of space. And not to say that it can't change or it can't happen. I'm also not a doom and gloom person, but what I think is really important, thanks to opportunities like this, is that people can start realizing the challenge here, and that something is off, and we need to look into it.
Okay.
Do you think that these strong restaurants are still going to play a role moving forward in trying to loosen up the grip of these rules and regulations, or not so much anymore?
Yes. They mentioned how this came up too is Heather, who I mentioned from Soul and Smoke, is raised the alarm on this, but she flagged that they're on a group chain with other food operators. So she dropped my contact information and details on the story in their chat and asked folks to reach out to me. I had a number of people really willing to do that, and there are folks who are pushing the needle on that who will continue to speak up. These are not people who had complaints. They were very much like, we're focused on the work. We want to stay focused on the work, but this is really hard for us. And I understand, again, if you are being faced time and time again with roadblock, and they're minor things. Someone mentioned how they went to a city appointment, and then they were asked to reprint their menu because it didn't say chicken or beef brisket. And the inspector said, well, it could mean buffalo brisket. And it was like,
I'm
where
seriously
are
like, I want to tear my hair out listening to this stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, we're getting the wrap here, but Jimena, where can people check out your report?
Google Eater food trucks,
Okay.
and it'll come up.
Okay, very good. Jimena, thank you so much. That was fascinating.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you guys
Yeah.
raising the issue on this as well.
Absolutely.
Everyone
I
loves
was
food
not
trucks.
expecting. I know, and just how hard the city is making it.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you?
Small business
Why would you
owner.
even? No.
And it
And,
makes
like,
everybody happy.
Exactly, and waiving the fees and everything. It's like, support your restaurants. You know, this is part of what makes Chicago Chicago.
Right.
And if you're going to make something legal, like don't make it. They're running in sand.
Or lean into it. It's
Right.
not like you're going to be overrun by food trucks. I don't feel like that would be an issue.
You know. Okay, confounding. All right. We're going to go to break real quick, but we will be back with more Chicago Now after this. And again, we talked about this off the top of the show, how you can chime in if you've got any thoughts on what the Shedd Aquarium should name their adorable new
Blueberry.
otter pup. We are going to Blueberry. We're going to talk about that coming up. Stay with us.
10:38. Thank you for watching Chicago Now. We love hanging out with you guys. Now we're talking about a sweet little baby, a baby otter, our favorite, Shedd Aquarium's newest otter. We're voting on the name of this baby. So right now, the name is Otter 937.
Otter 937. That's so sad.
I know. And so there's an on-site voting situation happening at the Abbott Oceanarium. Oceanarium.
There
The
you go.
Abbott Oceanarium. That's where you should go, because until 5 p.m. today, you can go see the little baby and see what name fits best.
Till 5 today?
Till 5 today.
Oh my gosh,
the
we're on
animal
deadline.
care team, they have the list. Let's see. So this baby was rescued on a beach in Marina, California by Monterey Bay Aquarium in June of 2022. She was estimated to be 2 weeks old at the time.
Look at how cute.
Sweet baby,
Just a little nugget.
They determined that the combination of rough sea conditions and low fog made any potential to reunite her with the mother was unlikely. So she received around-the-clock care from Monterey Bay Aquarium for 6 weeks before moving to the Aquarium of the Pacific for continued care and rehabilitation. So we've got the names. Do you want to run through the names, Anthony?
Okay, so we have Isa. Isa there is, okay, Jade as well. Isa is a reference to the Endangered Species Act, which helps to protect recovery of the species. Jade, that would be in honor of Jade's Cove. That is just south of Monterey, where she was found. And then Ray, that's kind of obvious, right? Inspired by the Monterey Bay area and the innovative sea otter surrogacy program. And then Marina was the other option that they are, so it's a 4 choices here. Marina, in recognition of the city where she was rescued, from the Latin word marinus, meaning of the sea.
How do you feel about these names?
Okay, so Isa, Jade, Marina, or Ray. Do we know the gender?
I think it's a girl, right?
It's a girl? Because Ray doesn't, to me, sound like a. That's a
her.
That's a male name. It'd be Reina. Ray means king, and Reina means queen.
Oh.
So I'm gonna narrow it down. Isa, Jade, or Marina. I like.
It's a female.
Oh, it's a female. Isa. I like Isa. I think that's kind of cute. What do you like of those? I know you like Blueberry. That's your friend.
Sweet Blue.
We had a black kitty in my childhood named Blackberry.
That's cute.
We called her Beeberry.
I think one of my Beeberry.
Yeah.
One of my favorite names right now for girls is Navy.
Oh.
On the
that's
blue
cute.
theme, you know,
Yeah.
blueberry, blue, navy. Okay, out of these
That's
names,
cute.
I would say Jade.
Jade.
Marina is too cliche.
Mm-hmm.
And Isa, it's just the spelling. I don't think people would know how to
Yeah,
pronounce it.
people would be like Essa.
Yeah, Essa.
Isa. So Jade. Okay, so Jade's got Caitlin's vote. I'm gonna still go with Isa. I like it.
Did
We'll
she come
see.
from
5
Jade's
p.m.
Cove? Did she come from Jade's Cove?
That's just south of where she
Oh, the
may have
Monterey
come
Bay.
from Jade's Cove. I like
That's where
that
she
too. I
was.
like the connection there. But you know, the folks at the Shedd are going to do an amazing job.
I like funny names for animals, like Cheese or.
You know, Natalie's got a great name for a cat right now.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
I forgot.
Chips.
Chips, that's right. Chips.
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 Chips. I think Olive named the kitty.
And Mr. Bill was her last
Yes,
cat. Mr. Bill,
yes.
is that not the most hilarious name ever?
What
Wait,
do you
I got to chime in real quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because our
Jenna.
intern, Serena, made magic happen, and we're actually talking to them on Monday,
Oh yeah.
and they're going to give us the name reveal.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Good get.
That's Jenna, by the way, speaking
Yes.
over
Oh,
Good
yeah.
speaking.
I am
get
Jenna.
by Serena. That's a scoop. That's what we in the industry call a scoop.
Yeah.
If they'll unveil it to us on Monday, hey, that would be amazing.
So if you want to vote
Start
and
your-
you're
place your
invested,
bets.
you have
Place
until
your
5 p.m. this evening.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You actually have to go in person in this one.
When was the last time you've been to the aquarium?
Probably this past year. It's a regular. It's probably an annual trip for
Oh,
me
is
and the
it?
fellas. Yeah, great. The Oceanarium is awesome. They do. All you have to do is
Like the
yeah,
shows?
the dolphin show,
Yeah.
and you can see the beluga, and then I actually like just the middle that huge middle tank, the circular one.
Yeah.
Have you been there recently?
Yeah, no, a couple years ago.
Okay, that's my favorite tank.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see the lake sturgeon. I love the sturgeon. Those. I think it's like 90 years old. This thing.
Giant fish.
It's a giant freshwater fish.
And the
so cool.
views from the
yeah.
aquarium of Lake
How they
Michigan.
did it, I know. They make it look like you're looking out into the ocean. It's
It
just
is
so
beautiful.
cool. It's awesome. I love this city.
I wanted to get the behind the scenes of there actually, and
Yeah.
we still have to do that. They reached out and offered,
You should do it.
right?
That's
Wouldn't
a
you be
good
curious?
assignment
Like,
for sure.
Behind the walls, with where they store the fish. That
Oh
get-
yeah, and the fish food and all this
yeah,
stuff.
right. It reminds me of Finding Nemo, like behind the scenes.
Oh,
Do they
yeah,
have like
great movie.
all the little fish that need to be rehabbed?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Well, we'll continue to follow that. All right, coming up after this short break, we are going to chime in on a debate that is unfolding in the Chicago subreddit this morning. This is an employee asked the public, the Reddit public, if it was disrespectful that they took their lunch break at the cemetery. We are going to dive into that coming up. Caitlin, do you know what AITA stands for online now?
Ada.
Yeah.
No.
M-I-V-A-H. Am I?
Okay,
It's
yeah.
basically, am I in the
Yeah.
wrong?
Okay.
Okay, so
this is one of those questions.
yes, exactly. So this is one of those on Reddit, and it's Chicago specific. All right. In the Am I in the Wrong subreddit, a worker asked if it was disrespectful that they take their lunch at a cemetery. Okay, let me run through this real quick. Next door to my workplace is a big, well-kept cemetery. There are shade trees, small gravel paths, benches. On nice days, I take my lunch to one of those benches, eat my sandwich, and read a book. Last week, I had just finished my lunch, was packing things away when another visitor approached me. We began chatting. They said that they were here to visit their parents and ask whom I had lost. I had to admit that none of my loved ones were buried there, but that I was coming here because it was peaceful and I needed a place to take a break from my work. They reacted to this with indignation. They said that I was being disrespectful, I was treating the cemetery like a personal park, and I didn't care about people's grief. I apologized, left immediately, haven't been back since. Your reaction, Caitlin?
Can you imagine having this interaction with somebody? I think that person was way out of line. Not the lunch person, the other one. What? You can't own outdoor space. And who would take that personally? Like, how dare you eat lunch where my parents are buried?
And they gatekept or gatekept. Like, do you have someone buried here? Oh no, then they're gatekeeping the cemetery.
And why is this person that approached the person eating lunch asking questions like that. Like, mind your own
Mind your own
freaking business.
I completely agree.
That is crazy.
And I am told, I haven't surfed this particular subreddit, but most of the comments agreed with what you just said, Caitlin. Here's another factor that I just want to throw into the debate. I agree 1,000% with what you just said, but I would also say, if I'm buried in a cemetery and there's any remote possibility that there's any kind of consciousness still in play, I want people jogging in there. I want people cycling through there. I want people taking their lunch break. Otherwise, I'd get bored in there. You know what I mean? Just laying there. If there's any cognition involved, I bring a 5K. Here's something cool. In LA, I was visiting a friend out there. They do movies in the cemetery, where they actually the cemetery sanctions this. I mean, I don't know if this is too
much. I don't know.
They will go in, project a movie on like
scary movies only.
Yeah, exactly. During Halloween time, and people will go in there. They've done 5Ks. I think there's a 5K. Graceland Cemetery on the north side of the city is basically a public park. That was a sanctuary during the pandemic. They're beautiful.
Be beautiful.
There's pathways, there's a lot of history in there. And Graceland Cemetery, shout out to Graceland Cemetery, I love it. They were a sanctuary during the pandemic. Remember when all the parks were closed?
Yeah.
The park district shut down playground.
You can't shut down a cemetery.
We went, oh, there we go. Rose Hill, the Crypt 5K. Yes, Rose Hill, shout out to them. And I am so in favor of this because, again, if I'm laid to rest, I want as many people around me as possible. That's just the one thing I want to throw in.
Yeah, I like that. Like, have your lunch here, just leave the onions at home because it stinks.
Right.
I don't know. I just
You think that's a little over the line?
I think people have too much time on their hands. Like, how do you even have the time to even think, like, how dare this person?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if
Karens.
you're there...
Karens.
I don't understand that. I see it all the time. And especially in this scenario, like, I've had this happen before too, where you're kind of thrown off guard. Like, you're probably thinking, oh, this person's just having a nice little chat with me. I'm getting my lunch break. How you doing? Da-da-da. And then they come at you with that. And it's like, have you ever been in a situation where that happens?
I was just thinking of the last time that happened. And for me, I was parking my car in front of a little sandwich shop.
Okay.
This is on a break. And I don't remember the specifics, but I wound up getting yelled at by a woman about the parking situation. And I just remember, I don't remember exactly, I remember not thinking I was in the wrong at all, but she kept harping on me. And I just remember being like, why do you care so much about me right now? Like,
right, exactly.
Why do you care what I'm doing?
I don't have time for that.
Yeah, like, please, just like, what are you doing?
Let's just shut that.
But it was in this day and age, you know, they call them Karens online, right?
Yeah.
And now the next move is to bust out your phone. You know, I'm surprised this isn't online, where the cemetery persons just started like rolling on the person. Like, what did you just say to me? And then it becomes on online things.
How do you react? Do you get hot or do you just say sorry?
You know, it's been so long. I think I got a little riled up.
Did you?
I actually do think I got a little bit riled up.
I would like to see you get riled up. That would be kind of...
It's, you know, I don't get like aggressive at all. I get snide. Like, I remember
sarcastic?
I try to that's
Yeah.
kind of my gear, but that's my way of handling getting hot. Like, I wish I didn't. I wish I was more like zen about it. Have you been in a recent situation like that?
Yeah, in our parking garage. It was probably a couple weeks ago. I was trying to get around, like, because our parking garage has a lot of like loop-dees. So I was going around, I didn't see this person because they were coming in and I was coming around this corner. So I tried to get out of her way because she was kind of closer to the inside. So I pulled my car way over so she could sneak by.
Sure.
She rolled down her window and was swearing at me and yelling at me and then hit the gas and like zoomed around, and I was so...
She like road raged you in the parking garage.
It was so... I was like, there's a crazy person in here. Because I was sincerely trying to get out of her way. So my reaction is more of like, what just happened? What just happened? I don't get mad. I get more of like, ooh. Like,
doesn't it just leave it a bad taste in your mouth when something like that happens? Because I've been road rage a million times, and I'm always just like, you just like chill.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to like give other people the benefit of the doubt and just take down the intensity. Everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And I think some people struggle with that more than others,
Yeah.
like the hothead, you know,
Right.
like 0 to 100. And I'm sure they're battling their own demons, as
Right.
they say. But it's rough to encounter that for sure.
Turn
and I feel
down the
bad for those
temperature,
people.
everybody.
Yeah, they just need to go exercise or less caffeine. I don't know.
and keep eating that lunch in the beautiful cemetery.
Enjoy
All right,
yourself.
keep doing it. All right, we are back in a moment to wrap up the show. We are going to talk about this topic right here. Have side hustles become the new norm? We will talk about that coming up.
10:56, welcome back. So here's our next topic. Have side hustles become the new norm? According to a poll conducted by Express Employment Professionals, about 90% of U.S. job seekers say they worked a side hustle, with 41% admitting to double dipping on the clock, either part-time, which was 24%, or full-time, 20%. Generational divide. Now, this isn't surprising to me, but 67% of Gen Z and 64% of millennials say it's fine to do job B while at job A, but only 44% of Gen X and 34% of baby boomers agree. So why do you think side hustles have become so common among these job seekers? I think it's backup. It's a hard economy.
Yeah.
It's trying to earn some extra cash on the side. And as far as like the generational thing, I bet it's all about the phone. You know, you could do everything on your phone. So while you're at work, the older generations probably don't work as efficiently with these
They
phones
can't
and
multitask like the Gen Zers and the millennials.
Exactly.
They're also probably like, well, we didn't do it. Why should you be able to do it? But I think it speaks to a widespread issue, and that is employers not taking care of their employees like they should. These C-level executives are making tens of millions of dollars in some cases. Think about like your Walmarts, your Starbucks, your massive employers where how much wealth is concentrated at the top of that pyramid. And the Amazon delivery folks. Look, Bezos is about to get married and he rented out a whole city for his wedding. And think about how much these Amazon I think it speaks to the wealth disparity.
Yeah.
I think that's what it speaks to. You shouldn't have to side hustle. And the fact that 90% of U.S. job seekers have done it, that says a lot to me.
Yeah.
That's so it is the rule, not the exception, that you're having to do a side hustle, and then we reported here in the city south, certain pockets of Chicago where the norm is to have to work 2 or sometimes 3 jobs to support your family. It stinks.
How do you feel about someone working like a 9 to 5, but on those hours working a side gig as well?
You know, if they can make solid contact with the ball and do a good job in job A, and they're able to work it out so they can do job B, and they're checking all their boxes, hey, people have got to do what they got to do to get by.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you think? What do you think?
I agree. I think that work days should not be 8 hours long. I think 9 to 5 is too long. I think there's a lot of wasted time during the day. People chit-chatting, people going and eating.
Yeah, you've said repeatedly you'd rather just be on the air, like start to
Yes. Knock it out.
bathroom
because,
breaks, lunch breaks, Caitlin.
Like quick.
You know me, I get so incredibly hungry.
Eat while you're
and
working, baby.
Caitlin,
That's how I feel.
you are a machine.
Let's go solid for 5 hours, work hard for 5 hours, then get out of there. Why are we working all day? 9 to 5, that's your entire life.
Reminds me of Dumb and Dumber. There's not one job in this town, Zippo, nada. Yeah, unless you want to work 40 hours a week.
Can we please? or knock a day off the work week.
Hey,
3-day weekends.
There was
mental
a time when someone very close to me was able to, in this industry, to work 4 days a week, but a 10-hour shift, which I thought would have been great because then you get a 3-day weekend every weekend. You're working 4 by 10 instead of 9 by or whatever 8 by 5.
Let's do one or the other,
One
right?
or the other. Hey.
What do you think? What would you prefer?
That would be nice to have a 3-day weekend every week and just do a 10. Now 10:03, and time now for another edition of Chicago Now on a Wednesday. Looks like the rain is moving out, Caitlin. Downtown, blue skies, smiling at me.
We do have the chance for storms again today. Some could be a little gusty, but this morning you hydroplaned on the road.
I did. For a
Goodness
moment, I was
gracious.
coming in on the Edens, guys. Right, same thing happened to Mike Kaplan. I wonder if it was in the same spot. Two
Yeah.